So today is
Welcome, everybody.
March 20. Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
Sorry,
I'll interrupt you. I'll interrupt you so you'll feel at home.
Well, welcome, everybody. Today is March 29th, 2018, and this is All the Lead Mastermind call number 170. We've got Tim Yandel, Jack Corbett, and Tom Omby today. Our other partner, Jim Sullivan, is at the Explode event in Kansas. He's in Kansas City today, right?
Yep.
So from Tim, do you have anything else to share today?
Not really anything at all, other than just to point out that we are ending up the first quarter of the year, and it's been a great quarter for all the leads, and an even better quarter for a lot of our customers. We've been getting a lot of tremendous feedback lately from people who are making major strides with their business. And as you probably know, during this quarter, in addition to getting the letters out on autopilot for you, we added the ability for you to have the calls placed on automation as well and get the calls made for you, and that's dramatically impacting everyone's business, and we appreciate that. We look forward to that and look forward to growing that side of the business. So pretty excited about that, and we're doing well, and we know that you guys are doing well, so we appreciate it. But it's been a great quarter, and we know this is going to be a great year, and we hope it's been a great year for all of you.
Yep. I'm not quite ready to let the cat out of the bag, but I will give you guys a glimpse. And Tim had mentioned, we are doing, for those of you who don't know yet, in, I believe, December, January, we started offering ISA services so our call center can do your prospecting for you. We have since then been testing and finding results in prospecting for probate attorneys. And right now we're tracking just under 7% conversion, which is unbelievable. But in most markets, if we sit down with a list of 100 attorneys, we can usually get you face-to-face with, right now it's about 6. We'll get you in front of 6 3/4 attorneys. But we're really, really happy with those results, and they're holding. Some markets are higher, some are lower. Obviously, that's an average. But in the next few weeks, you should see the order form updates and system changes where you'll actually be able to order attorney prospecting calls in addition to your personal representative. So we offer the same with our mailing service. We have several people who mail attorneys. But now you can combine that campaign. So if you're mailing attorneys, you can also be placing phone calls. So anyways, that's just some of the stuff that we're working on in the background to always improve the service we provide to you guys. And it'll be on a kind of an a la carte, so per call or a per attorney basis. And we'll update you guys on pricing and send out emails and stuff when we're ready. But we're really close on that. We're happy with how it's working so far, and the appointments that the agents are going on are actually really good. They're as good as the appointments that our other agents are reporting face-to-face. So it's not like, the attorney wants to meet with the agent once they've spoken to our call center. So we're excited about that and should be able to launch that the next week or so. Thomas, you got anything to share today?
Oh, just my usual, Chad, just that we're here to help everybody. So if you need anything from us, just send us an email to support@alltheleads.com, or if you're in your account, under the support area, it says contact us. We track all these items and assign them to the appropriate people to get back to you on a timely basis. So we're here if you need us. That's about it.
All right. Well, we've got a couple of people in the queue. And Chad, anything else you want to do before we get rolling?
Ask a question, share a success story, and anything that's working. If you can hear me with that, star 6 and then 1.
All right. Well, let's take our first caller. We have someone from the right agency at 0177. Go ahead. Go ahead, 0177. Hello. All right. Well, we'll take the next caller then. uh, ending in 1977.
All right. Hello?
Walter, go ahead.
It's Devin. But, yeah, so I was calling, or I wanted to ask first, you know, I'm hearing everybody really well, but having a little bit of trouble hearing Chad. And it sounded like he was talking about the ISA services, which was the reason for my question. I wanted to know a couple things: where the ISA is located, and what has been the success rate with those ISAs that's been seen by the agents that are using the service here.
Can you hear me okay, Devin?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you all right now. You know, it sounds like maybe you were away from the speaker a little bit, or I don't know. You sound like you're really you're really chill and laid back, but was having a little bit of a hard time hearing you.
So I'm at the mercy of satellite internet this week. We're in Sedona, so if it gets bad, interrupt me, and I'll let Tim step in. But our ISA service for personal representative prospecting so we're using domestic callers based in New York. We pretty much have neutral or no accents, which I think is part of why it's so effective. These people have been trained by us. They've been on this mastermind call for the last 2 quarters. They've gone through our probate mastery training. They have gone through all of our role play archives, and I've played one with the team. So we find what they're here in a group, and
Chad, I'm going to interrupt. I've got to interrupt you, bud. You're bubbling a little bit there. I know they can't hear you.
Okay. All right. Well, if you want to, I'm not sure what I can do here.
I think if you just be real still wherever you are. I know that it's hard, but I mean, we just got to keep trying. I mean, I think the point that you were trying to make is that
what we're finding, Devin, is statistically it takes us about 48 leads to set an appointment, and 2 and 3 appointments are turning into listings. So that's about a 3% conversion rate across the board. Now, obviously, half of our campaigns are worse than that, and half of them are better than that. That's an average. And we never know. It is prospecting. So, there's no guarantee when we get on the phone, but what we're finding across all markets, kind of the blended average is about 3% conversion.
And let me add a couple of things to that as well. Having worked with multiple different ISA programs over the years, kind of since this started to be a thing where industries started doing this and kind of began in the investor side as well several years ago, the conversion rate that our call center is getting exceeds anything I've seen, and I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that it's a systematized approach, and there's a good deal of repetition in it, so they're not just taking one whack at it and hoping for the best. And I think the conversion results are pretty darn good, and we're very happy with it. And I can give you anecdotal information because as the CEO, I end up seeing all this stuff. I filter my email by the various programs that we've going on, and I've been kind of monitoring the ISA program, and I had to turn it off because my email was getting too clogged with appointments. I know it's going well. I think we've not heard anything but great feedback from the folks that have had appointments set for them, and they're able to close them and get listings. So we're happy with the results.
Okay. And I've got right now about, I think it's 876 leads because I'm in Palm Beach County, so it's a lot of probate business here. I looked at the cost of the ISA service yesterday. Is there bulk discounts? I'm talking to the CEO here because I have an ISA right now that calls for expires and FSBOs, but I don't want her calling on these because she's not trained on the probate calling yet. But I am interested in using that service, and with a 3% conversion rate, I'm obviously bound to see a good return there.
Yeah, it's always good to ask. Doesn't always get you what you want, but it's always good to ask. Always good to ask. I mean, the issue with this is that every bit of this program is based on somebody doing the work, and there's no there's no volume related piece of this that works differently. If it was a consumable product, if you were printing, 10,000 pieces as opposed to 1,000 pieces, then it could be made significantly less expensive because the cost goes down. But whether it's 1 or 1,000, the cost per call doesn't change. So it really doesn't. There's not really any room for us to make many changes there. And
All right,
I wish I could help you, but yeah, no, I appreciate that, and it's always good to ask.
One other thing that I wanted to get specific information about is the cost. Is it per lead or is it per phone number? Because some of my leads have like 3 or 4 phone numbers, so I was wondering how that breaks down.
Per lead.
Okay.
Per lead. So they'll and if you get 4 phone numbers, they'll make 4 phone calls.
Okay.
And then I want to point out something you said. You said I should certainly see a return on that. That's how we price this. So we basically said, what's that?
I said I talked myself out of the discount before I even finished the question.
Yeah. But the idea behind our pricing model with the ISA service was to get it as cheap as possible. And in running through the numbers, if the ISA service works at 3%, you actually save a considerable amount of money over the course of your campaign, because our ISAs, after each campaign, they go into your CRM and opt out everybody who said no or had already sold the real estate, already listed. So your numbers, you might start with 800. The next touch in the sequence, you may only be mailing 400 and calling 400, and by the end of the sequence, you may only be paying for 20% of what you paid for in the beginning. So it's actually designed for cost savings. So we got it as low as we possibly could, and then we built the system where it makes your marketing dollars more effective every step of the way through the funnel. So if you kind of look at a 3-month campaign and consider the cost of mail, cost of calls, and kind of factor all that in, most people actually save a considerable amount of getting our ISAs versus not making the calls or just mailing everybody, because we do go through an opt-out for you.
Okay, and then one more question. If let's say you buy 1 or 2 sequences, what is a sequence like? So I've got, let's say, I think I'm separated into 2 different groups of leads right now. So one of them, let's say it's 550 leads, and I purchased the ISA services for that one. How long does that campaign run? Are they calling every day for a certain amount of time until they reach all the leads, or until they reach a certain number of leads? How do I know? I guess at what point do we reach the end of that particular quote unquote cycle?
Yeah. Good question. So we'll talk about one touch in the sequence. So the sequence can be as long as you want it to be. You could set up a 7-call sequence if you wanted. But I'll try to answer your question on one round of the sequence. We've got a 6-day window. So on day 1, we set you up. We call. We do kind of an orientation call with you to make sure we know everything we need to know about your business. And then we start calling. That call campaign can stay open for as long as 2 days, and with a list like yours, we'll probably need that time. So over the 2-day period, they'll be making phone calls. When an appointment is set, you'll be updated, because we'll go into your CRM and we'll change the rating of that particular lead to appointment set, which will trigger an email and soon even a text message to you as well as our team. We'll leave once all the calls have been made, we leave the lines open for an additional 48 hours and to catch any inbound calls for that campaign. So when we're leaving voicemail, we leave the campaign open so we can receive the callbacks. And a lot of times those end up turning into appointments. So at the end of that period, then we'll go in and we'll actually update. We'll do all of your opt-outs and add the notes in for each and every person who was reached in that campaign. And then the campaign will be closed out and you'll be notified. So it could happen quicker, but we try to prepare everybody for like a 6-day cycle on each touch of the sequence. That way we can be as thorough as we need to be, especially on a list like yours.
Okay, thank you.
All right, those are great questions and a great discussion about the ISA program for sure. Next person in the queue is last four digits 9113. 9113, go ahead.
Hi, this is Stacy. How's everybody today?
Good. How are you?
Hi, I am doing good. A little cold, but I'm good. But I have a quick question. The ISA information is new for me, so I'll probably have a ton of questions. But where do I get the information? Is it on your website somewhere?
Yeah. So if you log, are you a subscriber?
I am not. I am anticipating doing that. So Darcy kind of said, join the call, hear what the call is about, and then I pretty much made the decision, but I didn't realize that you had another service.
Yeah. So if you go to under mailbox, on the public site, it's different from the subscribers portal. So if you go under FAQ on the main web, on alltheleads.com,
Okay.
you'll see ISA FAQ. And
Gotcha.
that'll answer a lot of your questions. Once you're a subscriber, if you look under Mailbox Motivator, there's an set up marketing campaign, and that basically walks you through setting up. You have three options. You can order calls, letters, or a combination. And then you can also set everything on autopilot. So literally, the second your leads come in, it triggers an order to the mail house and to the ISA center. And you basically just need to answer your phone and go on the appointments.
So just
so we
to
can
make sure
automate it all for you if you want to.
Okay, so to make sure I understand what the ISA is. So basically, they do the prospecting, i.e. reaching out to the personal rep or the attorney for me after I receive my leads.
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. Thanks a lot.
So just kind of in a nutshell, we provide a complete system that you can do 100% on your own, or you can just pay trained professionals to do it for you. So
right.
You can do your own mail, you can make your own phone calls, or you can go do dollar productive activity and let trained professionals do those things for you at a cost as low as we can get it. That's what we do.
Gotcha. Oh, my God. Now I really am motivated to do it.
Well, we're really motivated to let you do it.
Well, I wonder why. Thanks, I appreciate that.
we're just that kind of people. The other thing that and I'm going to hammer what Chad said just a little bit. I mean, one of the things that has always been the case in any type of successful business as you build it is that you find the things that you do best and try to spend as much of your time as possible doing the things that you do best. And in most cases, what people who are involved in real estate and want to be a successful agent or even an investor or anything that you do is to spend as much time as possible talking to motivated sellers and buyers. And that doesn't involve becoming an expert in mailing, and it doesn't involve necessarily becoming a great telephone prospector and spending hours doing really challenging, tedious work. You want to spend time talking to motivated sellers. And the whole point of automating the system is to try to get it to the point where your time is being spent in the most valuable, most profitable way for you. And as Chad said, we've done everything we can to cost reduce this to the point that it makes it economically feasible for you to do it, and all you do is you spend your time talking to motivated sellers.
And I completely appreciate that. Completely, because it is a lot of work. I mean, trying to lead gen and do the work to lead gen. So it's very refreshing to me that I'll get kind of a dual thing, if you will, once I subscribe and so on and so forth.
Well, one of the things that we found in the beginning is that we knew when we started this, our objective was, we were pretty naive when we began this, and we knew we had a potentially great idea, but the idea was only as good as the execution, and we would come up with what we knew were great leads because we test marketed this in a lot of places before we actually released it. So we knew we had good stuff, and we'd hear over and over from people, well, I just haven't had time to make those phone calls, or didn't have time to get my letters out, or didn't have time to. And so what we've done is tried to eliminate the didn't have time to excuse and try to keep the crutches out from under your arms help you run, and that's really the whole purpose of this. We've made it as easy as possible and eliminated the ability for you to do anything other than be successful if you just follow the system.
Right. And you know, as a fairly new agent, I have 25 years in the mortgage banking, you know, industry or side of this business, but I'm a fairly new agent. I've spent a lot of time in classes, both pre and post licensing, listening to tons of successful realtors tell me about how they farm and how they cold call and how they door knock and FISBOs and open houses. I'm sitting there going, there has got to be a better way besides Zillow, or not even necessarily a better way, but a different way to add some value to my business, because we all know that listings are the name of the game, right? You get listings, you pretty much can do the rest. So I began feverishly searching for, you know, the opportunity to do that, and found the estate and probate, and then stumbled upon you guys. And basically I'm laying a foundation for a business that will hopefully sustain itself for quite some time to go. So I'm definitely all in and dialed in, and Darcy's been great about answering questions. So this is kind of part of my research. So I appreciate, you know, your thoughtfulness in the fact that you put something like this together, especially being a new agent.
I don't think we could have said that any better than you said it. Thank you. That's great.
You're welcome.
Well, we'll look forward to getting you squared away and getting you signed up and getting you moving. You said it's cold where you are. Let us help you get it warmer.
I appreciate that.
All right. Have we that gets you squared away for the day?
That does. Thank you.
All right. We have one more person in the queue, and I'll do the quick speech here. If you'd like to have us take your questions, have anything you'd like to share with the group, *6 and 1, and that will get that done. Caller ending in 9217, you can go ahead. 9217, I hear you.
Has high likelihood of getting converted to car before we allow it to get it right.
Oh yeah.
Hello, 9217. Okay, I'll get back to you, and we'll take the next caller that popped in. 7522, go ahead.
Hi guys, it's Ron Gangler. We have our first ISA calls starting today, following up a mail out that we did last week. We spoke to Brandon, and what I was impressed about is that he said that one of the features are you'll be able to record the calls so that we can actually hear the prospector talking to the PR. Is that the case on all the calls, or can you shed some light on that?
About 85% of the appointments you get, you'll be recording with. And unfortunately, to 100%, we're kind of at the mercy of the dialer software we're using. So unfortunately, their recordings aren't super high quality, and really quality, their server kind of out. But right now, about 85% of appointments do come with an MP3 file. So you'll be able to hear exactly how the conversation went.
Okay, perfect. Great. Thank you. Even though you are garbled, I got the gist of it. Thank you.
Sometimes it's better when he's garbled, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. I'm going to go back to 9217. 9217, you're in the queue. Go ahead.
Hi, how are you today?
Good, good. Go ahead.
My question was, when is the next Mastermind class you guys are having?
You mean Probate Mastery?
Yes. Yes. Probate Mastery.
Chad, do you have April scheduled? Well, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm gonna have to cut you off. I don't know if you have or not, but it's not really working very well. We can't hear you at all, buddy. That is that as soon as you get it, I don't know if it is or not, but as soon as it is, we'll definitely notify you, and it will be on our calendar on our website. You'll be able to see it. We'll definitely let you know, and we'll put out an email letting you know about that. Hey, Chad, let me ask you a quick question. Are you dialing in on your cell phone this via the computer?
Chad mentioned that it's going to be probably mid to late April.
April? Okay.
Yeah, definitely be during the month, and it'll be a while. It'll be probably when he's back here. Chad, maybe you can call in via your cell and try it that way, because it's kind of gotten worse since we started.
If you want to sign up for that session that is coming in April, you could do it now. And what Chad always does is he sends you out the last sessions that were held in February. So you get the 3-day event that you can preview prior to your live call. So that's something to think about.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem. All right, I'm going to say we got several more people in the queue, and I'll take caller 0045. You're up.
Hi, my name is Betty. How are you?
Hi, Betty. How are you today?
I'm good. I was actually looking at a property when you guys, first came on, so I did not get a chance to hear about your program. I just want to, see you all offer probate leads and probate courses. Is that what you all do? And please excuse my ignorance on,
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. So we appreciate you asking, and that's what these calls are for. So certainly we do sell probate leads, but we're not just a lead vendor. It is a system. And if you missed the first part of the call, we certainly kind of go over this almost every time, but we look at this as a system, and we provide full automation for all the steps of the system. The system that we recommend is a system of 3 letters and 3 phone calls over a 3-month period to the leads in your county. We furnish you all of the probate leads for your county on a month-after-month basis, and we do offer training as well, but our sort of claim to fame at this point is that it is a system, and we've offered you now the ability to automate the steps in that process. So we will send the letters for you. We're a custom short-run press, so we'll do all of the direct mail for you, as well as the ISA program, and make the phone calls for you, allowing you to specifically talk to motivated sellers.
Okay, awesome. And how much is the system?
It depends on your county. If you'll go to our website and you'll just go in and select your county, your state, and your county, someone will get back to you with all of that information.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
And our website is alltheleads.com, and just click on check your county, and we'll get that right out to you.
And you sell other leads as well? Is that why it's called All the Leads?
It is called All the Leads to allow us to do that, but we've been so busy since we started perfecting our probate business that we've really not. We've been sitting on divorce for a while. We've taken a whack at obituaries, and every time we get ready to go do something, it just hasn't yet met the standards that we've set, which are pretty high for the probate business. So we're focusing pretty much on probate right now, but we've made some really good strides in the last 30, 60 days on divorce, so that's probably going to be the next thing that we roll out. Just a quick note on that, the reason that we haven't rolled it out yet in any kind of volume is that the challenge with divorce is that you're looking in a state, in most cases, you're trying to find divorces that have been done on filing rather than on decree, because by the time the decree is done, typically any movement in regard to the property has already been done, or the majority of the movement may have already been done, whereas if it's on filing, it may not have been done yet, so there's a better opportunity. So we're just kind of looking at it, and we don't roll things out that we don't know that work. So we beta test a lot of things, and when we're ready for general release, we put them out to our folks.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem. our dear friend Belinda, 1189. Hey, Belinda.
Hey, how are you all?
Great. How are you today?
Okay. I guess it's a quick question regarding the ISAs. You know, initially when I heard about the program, my thinking was I need to learn how to get on the phone and talk to people and really, you know, build a relationship with those. And for those people that don't need the service, then, you know, of course, you take them off your list. But now I'm thinking maybe for some of the calls, you know, that may be an asset to me as well. Particularly, I find myself hesitating when I see that the PR and the deceased individual have the same address. I really hate to call those. Although I do know sometimes people have either large note, they need to move, or they want to move, you know, near to family, or an elderly person is left behind and they can't manage on their own, things like that. So even if it is the same address, you know, it's a possibility it still needs to be sold. But my question to you is, when we have our leads come in, say I get like maybe 50. If there are particular individuals on that lead sheet that I want you all to call, but not the entire lead sheet, can we do it that way? Like maybe send you a sub list.
You can certainly upload a custom list. If you choose to do that and you want to upload a custom list, you can certainly do that.
Okay. And does it have to be right after a mail out, which is, you know, the way the system works? Or, for example, what I had done is I'm not able to afford to do all 3 mail outs. And especially once you start getting multiple lists, even though, generally the list is reduced by about maybe a third on my first call session. And actually that's my primary goal when I do my first series of calls is really just to kind of weed the list by calling and, you know, people already sold it, there is no property, or we really not interested, those kind of things. But I'm wondering, God, I lost my train of thought. Good Lord. Okay, well, that was the answer. Good Lord.
I'm glad that happens to other people.
Yeah, I usually jot it down, but okay, well, whatever. You can go on to the next call. Good Lord, I can't believe I did that. Okay.
Well, here's the other thing that you could also know is that, and Chad is, while he's not talking, he is able to text me, and one of the things he pointed out is you can simply opt out the ones on your list that you don't want called in the CRM before you place your order, and it will have the same effect. So you can, without having to upload it as a custom list, just put no calls and then place your order, and it'll take care of it for you.
Okay, you know what I was saying was this. Normally you send a letter, and maybe a day or 2 or 4 you would then call, and it's recent in the person's mind, the letter they received. Okay, so what I had done, because I couldn't afford all the mailings, is I had a script that was based on them receiving the letter maybe a couple of weeks ago or last month. Okay, so if we set up the custom list for the ISA, does it matter that we haven't just had a very recent mail out? Do they have a kind of a adjustment they can make based on the fact, okay, last month the person got the letter?
So
you prefer not to deviate from the actual system?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, and you've been on this call almost every week we do this, and we have a system that we know that works, and that's the system that we recommend. However, given what you're trying to go do, I mean, our intent with the ISA program in terms of keeping the cost and structure the way it is that they approach it, all of them, in the same way. However, if you need to talk with us about, you know, doing something to customize it and all that, let's take it offline, and we'll consider what you need to go do and see what we can do to help you. And if you'll just drop a note to support and ask that question to support, we'll be happy to do it. And they can certainly do change the approach even if you're not even sending letters. So there are ways to get around that, but obviously the recommended system is the recommended system, but you know the program. So we'll be happy to work with you, and, you know, we love you because you're always here and you're always giving, so we appreciate that.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Guys, we're just getting them stacked up here. Great day today. We got 4 more people in the queue, and we're going to go ahead and take the next one. Chad, can you be heard at all, buddy?
I don't know. You be the judge of that.
Right now I'm able to hear you. I just don't want to continue doing all this if you can be heard. I know they'd rather hear you than me. Next caller is 9326.
Hello there, this is Amy.
Hey, Amy.
So you touched on it for a minute there, and I was just wondering, in some of the states like where I am in California, we don't get there's not a lot of leads. So obviously people, there's not as much probate. People are doing wills and trusts and all that kind of stuff. So you touched on it briefly. Are you thinking about doing something with people that pass away that do have trusts and wills instead of probate?
Well, as a supplement to your
Not working, bud. Sorry. It's really not. You're fishbowling, man. I'm sorry.
Can't hear.
Yep, I know. Not working, Chad. Sorry. So the answer to your question is that you ask about whether we're doing something with people in trust and all of that. And part of the challenge with that is securing the information. We're always looking for additional information and the ability to pull different resources and get as much info as we can. The issue there is that if you can build a referral network and you can work attorneys on your probate list, the attorneys on your probate list can also potentially help you as a referral source for folks for whom there has been a trust or other things created. That's the best use of making more value out of the list, is establish those relationships with the attorneys and build that referral network so that the attorneys will give you that info as you go. And as you get your list, you should every month be looking and seeing which attorneys are showing up for more than one of the probates in your county, and month over month you'll see the same attorneys pop up, and those are the people that you need to focus time and energy on building a relationship with. And once you've been able to do that, that'll work pretty well. And so I think that's probably a good thing to go do. And one of the things that Chad just typed in said that one of our agents did 100 deals out of one attorney, and we're converting attorney appointments at about a 6.75% basis on the appointments that are coming in. If we're getting you into that list, we're getting about 6.75 out of them. Almost 7% of the attorneys are being converted into an opportunity for you to go in, present yourself, and do your thing. So that could be very helpful for you. In essence, if we called 50 attorneys for you this month, then you could potentially get three appointments out of it. So that'd be pretty good.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Great question. Take the next call, and I'm going to kind of buzz through this because they're just continuing to stack up. Call ending in 2019.
Yes, this is Lola Carey in Dallas, Fort Worth. I have signed up for the ISA call, and it tells me to look in my probate lead. I'm looking here, and it says that they spoke with the lead, and then it said contact, and then it got HU on the end. I'm sorry. I'm not understanding what else I need to do.
Say that again now? I didn't understand what you said, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm in my probate lead. The ISA have called this person. And the first time they called, it said left voice message. Second time they called, it said contact, and it got the phone number, and then it has HU. Do that mean I need to contact them at that number? I'm not for sure what this note is saying. And I don't want to call the lead, and I'm not for sure what I'm supposed to be saying to them.
Okay, how about without me giving you an answer and not knowing specifically what's in there, would you mind just dropping a quick note to support at all the leads, and we'll have somebody get back to you right after the call and work this out for you?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I don't want to tell you something that's incorrect, and without looking at it directly, I won't know what that is.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. Okay.
Not a problem. I think it might mean they hung up, but we'll see.
Oh, okay. That's what HU means.
Well, it could be. It could be. I wasn't going to speculate, but that's likely what it is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks.
All right. Let's take the next caller, ending in 7327.
Hi, it's Russell Larkin.
Hey, Russell. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Great.
I wanted your general wisdom on what is your go, no-go point when you are calling leads. You called one the first time and they say, sorry, not interested, hang up the phone. How many times do you continue to call them, and what point do you scrub them?
Well, I think that there are a lot of answers there. If you've talked to them, are you saying you've made contact with them and they're simply saying?
I'm saying contacted them and basically they say, no, not interested, got it covered, goodbye. I wouldn't necessarily want to toss that lead yet. And so I guess my question is, what is your follow-up MO with those kinds of leads?
Well, first of all, if you've got them on the phone and they tell you they've got it handled, I mean, one of the things that Chad usually says right about this time is that you try to interrupt that thought process and ask them a question. And there's a good reason to ask this question, and that says you might want to ask them if the property is vacant, and if the property is vacant, ask them if they've changed the insurance on it. If not, the property may be uncovered. And it's a good way to change that conversation. They may not have it handled as well as they think they do, and in some cases the policy will not cover a home that is not occupied. So it's always a reasonable question to ask, and it also shows that you have some more knowledge. But the general rule about this is that each time you talk to them, you should find some way that you can provide additional value, and call them back until they tell you not to call anymore, because you have nothing to lose by doing that. You paid for the lead, and unless they tell you, don't call me again, I'd continue to try to stay in touch. You don't want to be a pest, and you don't want to be annoying and all that. That's not going to get you anywhere. But it's pretty much you certainly have to know that when the time is right to say enough is enough, and hopefully you've got enough other business to go work on that you're not going to kill yourself doing that. But like I said, we also recommend that you do this over a period of 3 months, and repetition is what happens. Oftentimes, the first time you call, they may think they've got it all together, and they may even have thought they've got it sold. Next time you call back, you may be the only person that's calling them that next month. So now you're standing out from the crowd. They may have gotten a barrage of phone calls, and people have been chasing them from an obituary standpoint or chasing them for other reasons, and now you're the only person in the game. So, I'd just reintroduce myself again and say, hey, I talked to you a month ago, and now I know you said you had it handled. Just thought I'd check and see if you've made any progress in terms of moving the product to market, and just kind of staying in touch and find a way to add value. Are you stuck with property still sitting in the house? Have you been able to move any of it out? Does the house need work? I mean, the same things that we teach in terms of providing additional value, that's what you need to be focused on.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
All right. No problem. Next caller ending in 0687. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Dottie. I am from Louisiana. One of my questions are, when you send the mail out, whose name is advertised?
I'm sorry, you mean it's coming from you. The mail is coming. Right.
Oh, okay. And can you give me?
It's your letter. It's your letter. It's your logo. It's your letter. You sign it. In other words, we send it out as though it is coming specifically from you.
Okay. And can you tell me? Oh, I have another question about that too. I'm sure. Are you able to comply with the rules for Louisiana for our brokerage company? And one of the rules is that my brokerage company name has to be larger than my name.
Anything that you want, you have the ability, before we ever send a letter out, you have to approve the proof. So any requirements that you have, you simply have to let us know what they are, and we will construct it in any way that you need. In some states, it's required to put a non-solicitation notice on the footer of the letter. We do that. In some cases, you have to have a licensure number on there. We do that. Anything that you need, any requirements that you have are included in your letter.
Okay. Can you give me some information about the system? I missed the first half of the call.
What kind of info would you like? I mean, the system is pretty straightforward. We recommend a system of, we furnish the leads. We recommend that over a period of 90 days, you send a letter out each month. You follow up with a phone call each month, and we have a process that automates both of those for you so that we can actually send the letters out on your behalf and make the phone calls on your behalf to secure listing appointments for you. And the best answer to really kind of getting through most of that is check out our website, click on check your county, put your county in there, and let us give you a buzz back, and we'll walk you through it all in person.
Okay. And one more thing about the Mastermind course. I wanted, a gentleman had asked the question, what do you do? How do you handle talking to the sellers? Or is that taught in the Mastermind course, or is that a part of the education?
Probate Mastery. Yeah, Probate Mastery is a higher level. We offer you a series of videos to begin with that teach you everything you really need to know. The Probate Mastery course is pretty much a graduate level course. It's 90 minutes of training over 90 minutes, three 90-minute sessions in the course of a week. And obviously we cover all the stuff in the basics, and that's included for free. The Probate Mastery course is a higher level of training leading to certification. And it'll train you on all of the pieces of the system.
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you for calling. We appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go back to the first person I tried to get on here and see if I can get them on. 0177. If you're still with us, you're up. Someone from the right agency.
I didn't go back in.
Hello.
But I'm not. Oh, I hit this?
Okay, not hearing anyone there.
Sorry, I'm having trouble with the connection.
If anybody else, we've got a couple more minutes left. We'll go the full hour if we have anybody else. *6 and 1, and we'll be happy to take any more questions that you have. *6 and 1. Anybody else want to jump in the queue? And there we go. Do we get anybody else? Nope. Okay, I'm going to take one more whack around here, and if I don't have anybody else jumping in the queue, we'll call it a day. Let me see if I've got anybody else. No, it doesn't look like it. One more try at 0177 from the right agency. Are you on the call, and would you like to talk?
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine. Who's this?
Hey, it's Sam with the right agency. How are you?
Hey, Sam. How are you, bud?
Hey, very well, very well. Just wanted to say a couple things.
Sam, can I get you to speak up just a little bit, buddy? Can't really hear you very well. Talk a little bit louder, please.
For sure. Just wanted to say a couple things regarding the ISA calls, in particular to the feedback we're getting from agents, from traditional probate calls, and then actually, even further from a couple B2B calls. Again, thank you guys for offering your service and your time to actually help agents with this process. And again, we're having great feedback as it pertains to the actual meetings. One thing I do want to ask, and to see if, again, Chad or anyone can kind of hit on this, although it is very lucrative for everyone, I'm sure, on the call, and it's a great campaign, it's a very sensitive topic, and some of our callers, especially in some of the agents that we deal with, are constantly reminded on how sensitive the topic is. So I just wanted to, see if you guys had any quick tips or anything just to basically, get the seller or the potential client, comfortable with speaking with us, or even more importantly, the agent regarding this matter.
So the real key to that is always empathy. Chad teaches a thing called feel, felt, and found. I think that's probably the best way to do it. If you can if you can identify with that person, the one thing that we always try to draw and delineate is that it's not sympathy unless you in fact know the person who passed away and you know the family and you're really offering your sympathy and condolences to the family. Then the best that you can do and the best kind of statement that you can make is that you add empathy, and that goes a long way in terms of doing this. If you can kind of find where their pain is and all of that, that's a good thing to go do. But it's very, very pointedly not necessary and not a good idea to say that you're sorry for their loss, because that always sounds pretty shallow, and that's one of the kind of rookie mistakes sometimes people make on dialing for dollars, is that if you're sorry for their loss, next question is, oh, did you know Uncle Joe? And the answer is generally not the case. So you need to focus on the people and their situation and not focus on the real estate. We lead with value. We've always led with value. Typically, if you can find the one thing that's a hot button for that person that keeps them from potentially moving forward to move the house to market, that's usually a great thing. And more often than not, if there's a house there, it's filled with possessions that are difficult for people to part with, things that are mementos and things that were important to the person that may have passed away. They need to dispense it with them. They need to get them to the heirs. They need to do all the things that they need to do to get it moving. And we train our folks to make sure that they build a network of people who can help with that process, with the estate sales side, with the clean out side, any needed repairs, and all of those sorts of things. And so if those are the things that people are stuck with and are stuck behind getting done, then that's often the kind of the things that you can find that are there. So anyway, that's kind of the best answer, and we'll keep moving from there. But I think it's mostly empathy.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
All righty. Anybody else, folks? Any other questions anybody has? Anything else? Want to talk about? *61. We've got time for about one more. If not, we're going to call it a day. Last call, we do have one more. Okay. 2380, you're up.
Hey, yeah, I'm a realtor, and I work at a probate broker. Just started, and so he has a lot of the systems in place already, and I'm just trying to see what else I can do as far as, I know I can buy the leads, but I thought I heard you all say that you have some other type of training that you offer as well.
So built into our system for all of our subscribers, we offer a series of fast start video training. We offer tons of information on our site in addition to the written material. Every call that we've done for the past, and Chad, I just realized we didn't put the number on this one, but every call that we've done over the last 3 years, 3+ years now, has been recorded and is online and is available. So every week we do this, and almost any question you can ever think of has been asked numerous times and answered over and over on these calls, and we love doing it. In addition to that, once a month we do a role play call, and the role play training is invaluable for people who are trying to step through the process and get their questions answered, and Chad is really great at doing that. And you did say it was number 170. So we've done 170 of these calls, so there's roughly 170 hours of these calls available. In addition to that, Probate Mastery is the course that Chad teaches. It is 3 90-minute classes offered over a week, and when you finish that class, there'll literally be almost nothing that you don't know about what we do and about how to do this well. So that's kind of the extent of all of our training, but we believe in making sure that our folks are as educated as possible, and that's what makes them successful, so that when you do get that phone call or you're on that phone call with a prospective seller, you've got the answers that they need and you can say them with confidence. In addition to that, one thing I forgot to mention at any point on this call is that we also provide a probate credibility website. It replicates some of the content that's on our website with the frequently asked questions and answers about probate, and we include that there. It also gives you a couple of funnel forms to catch information from people, and we encourage you to do that and then put it on your letters that you mail out so that it shows that you're specifically focused on this market niche and it shows your expertise, and we'll be happy to talk with you about that too. But we've got a pretty solid system here there's not much we haven't thought of to make this work, and we certainly think we do a pretty good job at that. I hope that answers your question.
So the website is in the Mastermind as well as funnels.
No, the website is another product that we offer. Just like we offer the mailing service, we offer the ISA service, and we also offer a website service and the training.
So, but the funnels in the Mastermind is included with the leads, or is that extra?
The funnels that I'm talking about are online funnels. They're on your website. If you have the website, yes. If you have a website, the forms are on your website to collect the data from both customers and attorneys.
So there's a link that you can put in on the email or something? Is that the way it works?
No, it's on your website. We build a website for you, and we encourage you to use the website when you put your letters out to make a link to furnish the link to the website in your letters.
How much is that?
$39.95 a month and $199 to set it up.
All right. What about the Mastermind, the 90-minute classes you're saying? Is that included with the leads, or is that extra too?
It's everything that we talk about other than the leads is an a la carte system. The mailings are separate. The ISA program is separate. The Mastermind program is separate, as is the website.
Okay, thank you.
All righty. Okay, folks, any other questions that you have, we'll be happy to take them. If not, we're going to call it a day. *6 and 1, we got 2 minutes left before the hour. Anybody else? If not, I believe we're going to call it a day, and we appreciate you all having joined us today. A whole bunch of you stuck around to the end. We hope you got a lot of good value out of it. Chad, even through your garbled voice, I want to hear you take a whack at the Jim Sullivan Memorial speech. Go ahead.
I always like to end these calls by telling you guys, take one thing you heard here today, one thing that inspires you, go back, put it into action, and come back next week and tell us your success story. Make it a great day.
Excellent job. Folks, have a good one. We appreciate you being here. Bye now.